Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Menhera Monday with your host, Exhibit A, here to wish you a very happy Menhera Monday. Now, I apologize for this stream being so late. Since I am a working man now, sometimes I am going to delay the streams on weekdays just because it's not that I just got home from work, it's that I wanted time to do other stuff. So that's what actually happened. So I wanted to delay it and give myself more time, so I had something else I wanted to do. But yeah, I might do that sometimes. I hope that's fine. I should start putting that in my announcements and say, you know, there's a chance it'll be delayed or whatever. Yeah, hello everyone. Hello Mr. Wieners. Hello Zana, hello Sarah, hello Tess, hello Toy, hello Shay, hello Bun. Yeah, hello everybody. So here we are. We're back. We're back in the Monday of the Menheras. How's everyone feeling today? How's everyone feeling? Well, yeah. Alrighty. But yeah, okay, so... I mean, there can't possibly be a cock answer for an apocalypse, right? Like, who the right man would say that is their answer? Sana, I already know you did. I already fucking saw it, you little creature. Alright. Let's look at it. Hot. It's hot outside. Probably because I was outside. I can't help it. Like, I just heat up the entire planet whenever I'm outside. It happens. I am actually the cause of global warming. Did you know that? Like, I'm the #1 cause. It's not the factories. It's not the smoke. It's not the cars. It's actually just me. I go outside and then the ice caps just start melting. I just start killing polar bears for fun. And it's just I'm a quirky guy. Alright, where's my... Yes, let's get up the other... Let's look at some of the answers. Let's see what you guys have been doing today. Or, not today. Today and yesterday. In the form. Alright, this week's question is... What would you do in an apocalypse situation? I'm sure we've all thought about it before. If society collapsed and we were in an apocalypse, whether that be because of zombies or whatever else, what would you do to survive? Would you even try to survive? Let us know. Right. So, let's go along. Let's read the first one. What would you do? Cock. Well, I would survive on cock in the apocalypse. But if all cock is gone, and the only infected zombies' cocks are left, I guess unfortunately, I would have to surrender. Written by Zana. Bro. You said surely there's no cock answers. Yours is the first one. It's the first one. You're always in here first. With the cock. I'd probably steal all the food who's with me. I mean, everyone else would be with you, which is why you would not find any. Alright, good luck getting food. Everyone else is freaking grabbing it. It's like freaking Black Friday, except worse. Is 'cause I'm too hot the punchline of that, or are you just a terrorist? Both. Both. I love terrorism. Alright, let's, You probably live in a cockless world. I do not. My world is filled with them. Yeah. If you lose all cock. Yeah, no. Yeah, I guess, yeah. I mean, it's not in apocalypse. I guess it would be all... You might lose all cock if all the people with cock die, you know? It happens. It's like the premise of one of those frickin' hentais or animes, right? Where, like, there's a apocalypse and then all the men die from it, but all the women are alive, but then there's the one man who's the main character. And then because he's the one last man alive, all the women want him because they want to, like, have babies or whatever. And then that's, like, the whole story. Yeah. I mean, listen, I don't want the world to end, okay? But if it is gonna end, you know, some ways are better than others. Some ways are better than others, you know? Some ways are better than others. Alright. What would you do? Sneak into the Bernice White body pillow warehouse the government has been hiding from me, and live in there forever. Has everything I need. Written by You Should Know by Now, lol. Yes, I know it's you, unknown Bernice White fan. Not that I blame you, Bernice is great. She's lovely. She's fun. She's a fun party gal. Feels like a hentai harem, because it is. No one wants the world to end? There are some people who want the world to end. Joke's on you, I'd become a lesbian? I thought you were a guy. Hi, cute furry boy, ready to steal my heart again? Since when was I a furry? Where'd this come from? Why'd you start assuming I was a furry? You come into my stream yesterday, and you just identify me as a furry. I am not of the furs. Alright? I'm not into animals. I like humans. You know? The human, you know, to each their own, but like, I prefer my own species, you know? Just to be clear, I don't support zoophilia. That makes it feel like you clip that out of context. It makes it sound like I'm freaking accepting of like people fucking their dogs. Don't do that. Don't fuck your dogs. They don't enjoy that. Alright, let's read the next one. First and foremost, protect my loved ones. That comes first. I will fight tooth and nail to get them what they need to survive. Beat the crap out of people that threaten their safety, and prioritize them above all else. Among that, I would try to make a leap to see what I can do to get somewhere safer for me and my loved ones, so we can get out of that situation if we can. But above all, they matter first, so even if we can't or I can't, I'll try with all my might to protect my loved ones. And then in brackets, Exhibit, Peachy, Kit Kat, Unknown, Toy, and so many other people I love, I'm looking at you. Teehee. Love you guys. Written by Shay Shay. Yeah. Heck yeah. We'll all be safe if Shay's protecting us, guys. She's gonna use her cool person powers to like protect us forever. It's gonna be cool. An apocalypse, what would an apocalypse be like, guys, between all of us? Do you think we'd do well? Do you think we'd like survive? Would we persevere with the power of our endless friendship? But yeah. Master Incestor, please teach me. Where's that coming from? Bro, I no one said anything about incest. Okay, well, Sarah said incest. Okay, bruh. Why, bro? It wasn't even me this time. Why does incest keep coming into every stream? It's always mentioned every stream. It always. Oh, frick. I'd survive for sure. Yeah, me too. I'd win. I'd win. I would just kill the zombies, or the mutants, or the people, or the nuclear bombs. Okay, I would like. Um, I'm a cool guy who's really strong and powerful, so like I wouldn't die in an apocalypse. Hmm. I ain't surviving, bruh. It's okay, I'll survive for you. Can rebuild society. I'm going to have a big and once the world is all empty and all the people are dead and shit, we need to repopulate the world, guys. We need to repopulate the world. And you know, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Listen, listen. If there's no other way, there's no other. It's not like I would want to. It's just, you know, how else are we gonna repopulate the world, guys? You guys, come on. It's like, it's like our duty at this point, right? Right? So, yeah, yeah. I probably would do good in the apocalypse. I'm not good athletically. which is kind of important if you want to run from whatever thing's apocalyptic. I'm not that athletic either, but I would still survive because, like, I'm really smart and, like, I would kill the zombies. Sorry, am I late? I was showering, and showering is censored. No worries. Salad, don't worry. I started my stream pretty late. It started, like, really recently. Since I'm surviving, I'll repopulate the world. Good, good. Why were you doing that, Salad? Yeah, Salad, what the fuck? Why would you do that? What are you doing? It's fucked up. Why are you showering? What? I volunteer exhibit. Okay, yes, we got a volunteer. We got a volunteer. Yes, toy. Good stuff. Yeah, well, anyway, okay, well, listen. When the apocalypse happens, toy, you come to my bunker, and we'll make some plans. Make some plans. Sorry, guys, it smelled like Subway and cigarettes. I smelled like Sigway and Sub-barrettes. Why does that low-key feel like I said slurs there? Toy, it's a trap, don't do it. It's not a trap, okay? It's not a trap. Unless you want me to dress up, then I'll be the trap. Alright. That's your daughter, I thought? Whose daughter? Also, not mutually exclusive. Since when should that ever stop you? Alright, anyway, why are you so far back? Oh, right, that was just because I leaned back. I leaned back in my chair. Alright, so... we should get more music. We need more music. Music. Okay, how loud is this? Let's bring it louder, maybe? Alright, I think that's good. I hope that's not too loud. That might be too loud. Put it there, maybe. I was afraid... Put it there, I guess. Alright, so... Yeah, we're doing... shit. Guys, if it's, like, way too quiet, tell me. Or if it's way too loud, tell me. If it's, like, slightly too quiet, that's okay. It's okay for it to be on the quieter side. I'm more concerned about it being too loud. And I also just want you to, like, be able to hear it. Wow, it's not a trap at all. Exhibit A is the coolest. He'd never trick anyone ever. Exhibit can trap me? Yeah. Baby trap, that is. Fraggy may survive, you're a Latino too. Yeah, Latinos are, like, kind of invincible, you know? Alrighty. Sounds good. Alright, epic. Let's read the next one. What would you do? Rob a gas station and go on my floaty boat. Zombies can't swim. Get bug spray assuming mosquitoes would drink zombie blood. Yeah. Alright, yeah, well, it's an idea. I mean, yeah, being out on a boat would be good if you wanted to get away from zombies. Now, again, I was being broad. When I said, you know, an apocalypse, I didn't mean, like, only zombies. I meant, like, just any apocalypse. It could be a nuclear apocalypse, like in Fallout. It could be, like, society just collapses, or everybody just starts being really stupid and society falls apart, you know? That could happen. It might happen. You know? It's not that far off. Bulletproof Bish, hello! Glad you could make it in. You're not always... I don't see you quite as often as the others, so I'm glad you've made it to this one. But yes, yes, everybody. Did you already read my submission? Nope. Not on it yet. I started my stream late, so we're still near the start. Exhibit's got the incestuous fungus infection. It's not an infection. It's simply who I am. actually made a drawing of spoiling my favorite people recently. Oh, really? Been busy the past few weeks. No worries. I've also been busy. I'm a working man now. I have to job. Speaking of which, today's the first day that I freaking was not... I'm still in training, but, like, I'm actually doing, like, actual work activities now. We're, like, doing some of the real stuff, which I will not mention because I'm trying to still be vague about my work, just in case I accidentally dox myself in some way. But man, it was fucking exhausting. It was tough. It was tough. It was so tough. Man. Freaking so much. Because, like, it's a tough one when you're starting out. It's, like, really... Because, like, you just get thrown in the deep end. Because you gotta talk to strangers. I'll give you that as a clue. I'll give you a clue. You have to talk to strangers. And you need to be able to face them even if they're, like, bad or mean. Luckily, like, I'm, like, a really cool person and people think I'm cool. And, like, you know, so it's harder for them to hate me. So everyone I talked to liked me. Even if they were mad at, like, other things. And they didn't blame me because, like, I did a good job of, like, making myself, like, seem really empathetic and cool. You know? Because I was just pretending, though, to be honest. Talk to strangers all the time? Talking to strangers is fine, right? I mean, talking to strangers in a job setting where, like, you're kind of at their mercy. And, like, they kind of don't view you as, like, human, necessarily. You know? Depends on who you get. Exhibit is a maid, cat maid, and an echo cafe instantly docs. No, don't, shush! Don't tell them! Don't do that. Alright. Applied for a kitchen aid for a camp for children with special needs. I have the autism though, so it seemed like a fit. Yeah. It's always better to, you know, if you have that life experience yourself and that upbringing, you know, then, you know, like, because you've been through that and you have that kind of condition, I don't know if that's the right word. You know, it's a lot easier to, you're a better fit for positions like that compared to, like, fucking normies who take up the position and then they, like, don't know how to handle the autistic kids and they, like, mistreat them and don't really fulfill their needs properly. But you'll know and you'll understand, you know, what they need a lot better, so that's good. So it already wins people's hearts with voice acting. Yeah. What's Sarah say? Exhibit, you're seducing me with those cute noises again. You just like when I make weird noises, really? Except I did my first voice acting stream last night. Let's go! That's awesome, Toy. Hope that ends up going well for you. Voice acting's cool. Yeah, fuck the NPCs. Yeah, anyone who does not have autism, they are like, nah, they're different. Normies. I'm kidding. I don't want to be. It's kind of cringe to just say that, like, people are, like, lower moral value for just being normal. It's like whatever. Being normal is okay. What matters is that you're not, like, bad. Normal in a bad way. Because, you know, society can be bad, and that means sometimes being normal is bad. Because being normal means you're like society, and then if you're doing what society is doing and society is doing something bad, then it means you're also doing something bad. So sometimes you gotta, like, be a little less normal in order to do the right thing. Because that's what it means, you know, sometimes the status quo is bad, and so sometimes it's morally good to go against what is normal. And sometimes doing what is normal is wrong, if the world is wrong. And that's important, because the world's not perfect. Far from it. You have to choose your own way, and identify for yourself what's right and wrong. Without leaning on authorities to tell you, on all the people around you to tell you. My friend's little brother has severe autism. I would see how someone could become intolerant to that. Still a nice kid though. He takes me by surprise most of the time with his questions. Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's like, you know, sometimes people with certain ways of operating are harder to be around because, that's just, it's how it goes. But, they still deserve to be happy and have a place in the world, even if they're, like, difficult sometimes. And, it's complicated because, like, it's an interesting question of, like, to what degree should society be inconvenienced in order to accommodate people with different needs? It's a real question because on one hand, you say people, we should accommodate people who are different because, that's the right thing to do. It's because, they deserve to have a place in the world, they deserve to be happy. Then on the other hand, it's like, well, in extreme cases, we don't allow that. Like if someone is like so weird that they're like actually harmful, we're not okay with that. And it's like, you might need some degree of order in the world as well, but like, it's important to be able to draw that line of like, what kind of like, because let me think of an example. It's like, let's say someone has like a form of autism where they, I can't think of an example. Let's say, okay, no, let's say that someone has like a condition, right? Where they like, they can't really help but like scream all the time. Like they do it often because it's like a compulsion. There's probably a condition actually like that, but I'm kind of just making one up because there's things similar to this and I can't think of something, so I'm just thinking of this, right? Let's say someone has a condition where they're screaming all the time, right? That person, well, what do you think is going to happen when that person goes into like a movie theater? Well, all the other people there aren't going to be able to enjoy the movie because they're going to be screaming, right? What if that person goes into, I don't know, even like a park or a cafe? That's gonna, it ruins it for everyone else. So it's like, the accepting thing to do there is to like accommodate them, but it's like in doing that, you might actually ruin it for everyone else. So then it's like, okay, well, where do you draw the line? Because in some cases, is the right thing to do to like tell everyone else to tolerate that, or should you find a different way? Or is there some situations where is there some situations where you're just not allowed to participate in things if you have a certain condition? And like to me, the answer to that isn't 100% obvious, and it's like it's a case by case basis because it depends on the thing that's happening. It's like, on one hand, it would be cruel to exclude people from activities that they should be allowed to take part in, but on the other hand, if it really ruins it for everyone else, that's not good either, right? That's not good. Then neither is good. So, what's the answer to that? And I guess at the end of the day, we kind of need to come up with like more complex solutions, right? It's not just a matter of like being like, oh, you guys just need to tolerate this person who's like screaming, or you guys, you guys are going to hate being here and doing this, but you just need to take it because, look, he deserves to be part of this. It's not just about doing that. You need to find more creative solutions than that. You need to maybe be like, you can create new things or come up with other solutions that can maybe help both. And that's harder, but it is doable and it's been done. But yeah, it's a situation. Alright, so. But yeah, what do you guys think? Like, should people be obligated to, have people be in their environment who are like genuinely disruptive, but like they can't control it? Is that something that people should have to, do? Because, it's... And, I risk sounding slightly like, offensive or bigoted, but like, I think it's an important question, it's like, in some situations, a condition that you have is genuinely disruptive to the point that it makes it impossible for other people to, like, do things. But then that's also not your fault, so it's like, it's unfair to say that you shouldn't be able to be part of that. So it's like, no matter what you do, it's unfair. Yeah. But I think that there's other solutions, but they require more thought, more effort, and oftentimes more money, Like, in the cinema example, for example, you could have, like, a separate booth for people to be in the cinema. where other people won't hear the screaming, right? You could do that, and you could accommodate those people. But that takes resources, and the government and the world in general is not necessarily interested in allocating those kinds of resources. And it would be very complicated to do that, even if you did have the resources, you know? So, yeah, I don't know. I don't necessarily have, like, a solution to that particular problem. It's just a case-by-case basis, I guess. Yeah, it's tough. Because, you know, if you genuinely can't control it, like, you don't deserve to be left out of things. But then, how much can you make things fair without making it unfair for someone else? Accommodate within reason. If you scream a lot, maybe go to a drive-in instead of a theater or watch at home with friends. Yeah, I mean, that's a valid answer. But then other people might say, you know, some people want the experience of being in a cinema. Of course, that's just one example, right? Cinema is just one example. There's all sorts of activities you couldn't participate in if you had a condition like that. You'd be excluded from so many things. It would really suck. Because while autistic, we can grow and make good choices if we choose to. Yeah, that's definitely true. It depends. That's the case in terms of, like, behavior, and in terms of, like, you know, like, conscious decisions. But some conditions are, like, harder to control, and some conditions are more, like, involuntary. You know, like Tourette's, for example. You literally can't control that. It's not like a behavior thing. It's just like an impulse. But yeah, that's the thing. How do we get onto that discussion? The last one I read was about being on a boat. I verbally stim, where I meow like a cat and I can't control it, but people can control yelling at me. I'm pretty mindful if people ask me nicely to stop, which I get embarrassed about it. Yeah, people can get, like, really angry and hateful and stuff towards people who are, like, different in some way. I'm trying to say cat, why am I saying chat? Yeah, I saw that, but I assumed you meant cat, so that's what I said. Okay. Honestly, I think there should be a workaround for both ends so people with special doesn't get left out or outcasted while making others happy, but also be understanding and empathetic. Yeah, I mean, there are solutions, but they're just way more nuanced. And they require a lot more forethought. But people don't like that. People don't like nuance. They think things are black and white. That's how most people treat things. So at the end of the day, that's not how it works, you know? Morals aren't black and white. You know, sometimes a thing isn't just right or wrong. Sometimes it's somewhere in between. Sometimes two decisions can be equally correct, even if they're complete opposites. And that's the weird thing about it, you know? There's stuff I can't do with a pacemaker, but there's plenty of other stuff to do. Yeah. Hope you're living a good life, Toy. Pretty sure you are. From the way you act, you're always looking at the good in life, you know? Which is something I'd like to do. Yeah, it's not black and white, there's shades of grey in the world. Yeah, about 50 of them, to be exact. Okay. Next one. What would you do? Honest answer? I would kill myself. Not because I'm suicidal in my daily life or anything, but because I think having to live through such atrocities would honestly be worse than death. Also, the likelihood of me dying in some horrible way in an apocalyptic scenario is so high, I would much rather go peacefully and of my own accord. I could also go on about how specifically being a girl in the apocalypse would just be so terrible, beyond just the apocalypse event itself, but I'll let you fill in the gaps. There's a reason most apocalypse shows and media paint humans as the true monsters, and why there's as much conflict between humans as there is between zombies and humans in those types of media lol. Written by Peachy the Not Survivor. Yeah, so I'm not at all surprised hearing this answer from Peachy. Maybe some of you guys are, but um, sorry, you guys probably heard a ping. Um, those pings aren't yours. Those are mine. You don't need to check Discord. All right, so as I was saying, yeah, I'm not surprised by this because I've talked about this with her before, and it's like it's not because she's suicidal. She's not. It's just that with how if you if you look at apocalypse situations realistically, they're like really horrific, right? Like living in a zombie apocalypse, living in like a world-ending situation. Um, yeah, it's just I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't kill myself, but in a way, maybe that's naive, because like maybe I would want to die. Maybe I would wish I did do it if I went through some horrible shit in the apocalypse, you know, because the whole point of an apocalypse is your chance of dying is really high anyway. Like most people die, you know, like the freaking main characters of your favorite like zombie show. That's not you, probably. You know, that's like such a small number of people who will actually like survive and live on. So it's kind of like it's not choosing to die, it's choosing how you die. Because in a real apocalypse where the world is literally falling apart and like everyone is dying around you, it's kind of an inevitability. So it's not totally illogical to say this. Like it's not a suicidal mentality. It's just like I'm going to die. So I would rather die in a way that's not horrific, where I'm not literally having my guts ripped out of my body, right? Where I'm not literally seeing my own loved ones die around me. And that's where she's coming from here. It's nothing to do with, like, you know? Alright. The Huz are messaging you, bro. Dude. Alright. I'm grateful being born as a healthy human. Damn situation is hard. Yeah, alright. I'm just reading up. Except I think you got some of the girls crazy. Yeah, what can I say? I'm such a ladies' man, guys. Like, I'm just so irresistible. What can I say? It's not easy being this cool. Like, I'm just totally surrounded all the time. It's difficult. It's not easy. You think you want to be me? Ugh. No, you don't. There is just too much. So many women crawling on me, I can't even go anywhere. It's truly difficult. I want to live the gray experience real. Because if it's not naive, you would live like the most. I mean, I would hope so. It's because the rotting flesh with zombies will be over in a few months to a year. That is something... that is like a little plot hole in The Walking Dead. Where, like, it's one thing if the flesh doesn't rot, right? Because in some zombie media, maybe the flesh just doesn't really rot very much, or, like, stops rotting past a certain point. And you can explain it away and be like, oh yeah, it just doesn't. But in The Walking Dead, there's actual evidence that the flesh is rotting. Because as the show goes, the show starts out, the zombies aren't that decomposed, but as it goes on, they decompose more and more. And so logically, they should all just be unable to move anymore after a certain point, right? But then that's not what happens, so it's a plot hole. But yeah, in like an actual zombie apocalypse, that might be what happens. Just depends on what the rules are. How to adapt, I think. Purpose is the basis of human experience. Our ancestors used to live in an apocalypse, per se, scarce food, rampant disease, etc. That's true, but also, a lot of them fucking died. And also, the whole thing is that You weren't raised to survive in a, situation like that. Whereas people born in those tribes back then, when we were still evolving and whatever, they, through natural selection, through bajillions of people dying over the course of the ages, we had these groups of people who had survived. They were the lucky ones, and so they would teach their children efficiently, because those are the groups that survive. So, if society fell apart now, you wouldn't necessarily do as well as them. And also, you're talking about just like there not being a society. You're just talking about being in the wilderness. If it's a zombie apocalypse or something, you might be fucked. That it's about more than just being good at surviving in the wild. It's about also, avoiding these freaking monsters. And keep in mind that these monsters, because of the premise that we're talking about, these monsters have destroyed literally all of society, right? Like, most people in the world are now dead. And so to assume that you'd be one of the lucky ones is a big assumption, because, like, if 90% of humanity is dead, what makes you so special you'd end up in the 10%, right? What makes you, you'd have to be really lucky and, like, really impressive. Most people would die in it. But not me. I'd win. Not everyone can be this cool. It's okay, though. You guys are cool, too. You guys would have a higher chance of surviving than anyone else, because you guys are cool. You're a lady man? Me too. Did you mean to say ladies man? Or did you actually mean to say lady man? Because I'm both. Alright. Trips for earthquakes, COVID, national wars, living in Latin, etc. Oh, fuck. Earthquakes. So many people die in natural disasters. Yeah, it must be so tough for you to exhibit trade lives? No. Also, question for science. How many women you womanized? Shush. Secret. I'm also a femboy. That's what ladies man means, right? Yeah. Nah, that's a lady man. Except my phone is acting up, but you're on this big screen TV of mine with you in 4K. My phone said it couldn't handle that much handsomeness. Yep, Latam lol, we basically survived some awful things. Also, I would 100% become a housewife. Yeah, you want to be a housewife? Exhibit's job is getting a hold of him, stop streaming, and get back to work. Bro, my job does not contact me on Discord, okay? You think my freaking manager contacts me on Discord? God forbid. As Echo said, you'll be amazed what amazing people can do when their lives depend on it. I mean, yeah, but also 90% of freaking humanity's dead, so, like, a lot of amazing people were there in that 90%, right? Like, you have to be realistic past a certain point. The real world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. Does Venezuela count as an apocalypse, or North Korea? Not an apocalypse. There's still, like, society and civilization. They're still bad. There's still horrific things being done to people. Apocalypses aren't the only way for things to be bad in the world. Sometimes, the great evils of the world come from civilization. They come from power structures, and authority, and conformity. Thoughtless conformity, where people follow what is popular and not what is right. Because that's the easy way. And it's the appealing way, because our brains like to conform. They like to go with the crowd, even if the crowd is doing horrific, terrible, terrible things to innocent people. And that's, that's why there's lots of times throughout history that that's happened. And it's still happening in some ways. In many ways, actually. It's happening all the time. Who knows if we'll ever stop it? Who knows? Do I need to add you to my list of people I need to save from the apocalypse? Yes, please! Save me! Save me. I want to live. Unlike Peachy. She doesn't want to. Hardship equals purpose. I mean, I agree with that, right? I think that hardship is important. I mean, I had a ramble about this, and I might actually upload it as a YouTube clip, so you might actually see it in, like, the near future, because I thought it was a good talk. But, like, I have talked about that before, like, hardship is necessary to, like, feel like you're living a meaningful life. If you live a life that's too easy, that itself will become your hardship. And that I went on this ramble about how, like, really rich people, a lot of the time, aren't happy, because their lives are too easy. You know, you need a little bit of struggle. That being said, there is such a thing as too much struggle, right? There's some people in this world who struggle and struggle and struggle, and then they just die, and then nothing good comes from it. You know, there's, and that sucks, that's really bad, and we have to do something about that. But there's an amount of struggle you can have that will enrich you as a person, make you better, but that doesn't always happen. Not all the time. Because, you know, sometimes hardship improves us if we experience the right amount, an amount that we can use and handle without breaking totally and utterly. But then sometimes people suffer and then they die, you know, because the world it's not an anime. You know, and even strong people, even amazing people can die to things. Because that's the world we're living in. Which is why we need to fix it. So we need to work together and try to improve it. So that people don't have to suffer. So that people don't need to die of unnecessary things. You know? So that people don't have to starve. So that people don't have to die in wars. So that people don't need to have their rights stripped away from them in totalitarian countries. So that people don't, you know? What do you mean the world isn't an anime? Yeah, I know, I was disappointed when I found out too. Could have fooled me. Latina superpower to the rescue. We'll save everyone with my Latina powers. Yeah! Alright, next one. What would you do? Survive. Written by Tess Tsukuyomi. Real. Me too. Tess is like, nah, I'd win. Me too, I'd win. Screw all that shit I just said. I'd just win. I would just choose to survive. I would just choose to survive. To be honest. Like, why would you choose to die? I don't get it. What a bunch of dumbasses who died. Fucking people who die are so stupid. Why would you do that? Why? Just don't. Duh. Alright. Oh. Alright, bye-bye, Shay. Bye-bye. Hope you have a good day. Good luck to you. The most obvious answer, yeah. A soldier from TF2 said, dying is gay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I don't want to be gay, so I'm just not gonna die, you know? Like, why? You know? Oh, wait, I forgot it's Pride Month. I have to be gay. My bad. I have to be, or else I'll be arrested. Alright. What would you do? I may not be here for this, but I want to put my answer anyway because I love being asked these questions. So obviously the world would go to shit, so I'd do steal enough necessities and weapons if I'm with the group of people I care about so much. That'd make things better because I wouldn't be alone or more miserable trying to look for myself or losing my mind completely. The mindset is to survive, do or die, every man for himself. Yeah, I mean, fair. I do think... yeah, I mean, you kind of... if it's a survival situation, you gotta steal, man. You gotta steal stuff. You gotta, you know... Society isn't around anymore. Property rights aren't the thing. Just do what it takes to survive, you know? That makes sense. You know, I wouldn't want to kill innocent people or anything, but, like, stealing? Sure. It's a tough world. You're gonna have to make some tough decisions in a world like that. In an apocalypse. Alright. Ah yes, moral bankruptcy to the rescue. I wouldn't be morally bankrupt. I would just compromise on some of them. Because, like, at the end of the day, I'm gonna do what it takes to survive. I'm not gonna die. I'm not gonna willingly choose to die. Yeah, stupid idiot getting hit by a bomb could've just stepped to the side, duh, yeah. Wait, no, that was an old man. I was supposed to read an old man voice.
Yeah, stupid idiot getting hit by a bomb. Could have just stepped to the side. Duh.
Okay. What would you do? I would use my superpowers... Oh no, I would use my powers of iconography and charms to lord over a small town. Write my name. Yeah! I probably want to do that too. I would create a little civilization, and I would lord over it, and I would be the strong, powerful one who leads it. And everyone would love me. And look up to me and admire me. Because power's cool, and I want power. I want power. Santa?
Yes, Santa's back. Ho ho ho.
That's a real callback, though. I need to do more streams like that where I just do silly, goofy shit. I haven't done that in a while. The sexist would rule, exhibit as king, yeah. I mean, that's how it works anyway. Unfortunately. I'm here for every exhibit arc. Hell yeah. Alright, next one. Depends on what type, but since I live in a rural area, I'm pretty sure I'll be fine. I'll stock up on food and ammo, check up on my neighbors, and fight off whatever is out there. Yeah. I'm just simp for the people I love. Hell yeah! Am I people you love? Get ready for Christmas in July. Yeah, Christmas is coming in a few months. Several months. Oh wait, you said sexiest. I thought you said the sexist would rule. Okay. Never mind. Oh, you meant sexiest. Oh, okay. I thought you meant sex. Okay. Never mind, forget my answer from before. I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything. Yeah, I'm the sexiest. I would rule. I'm not sexist. That would be bad. That would be immoral and stuff. Okay? Don't cancel me. That girl is pretty. Let's get her taxidermied. What? Exhibit, of course I love you too. Ooh, yeah! Hell yeah. You're the best, Belle. Bro's always thinking of gender inequality. What can I say? It's just an important issue. How can I not think about it? You know? Like, I just... You know, ladies, I just care about your rights and stuff. So, like, You know, like, I just can't help it. I'm just such a nice guy. Just such a nice guy. You're gonna turn me into taxidermy? At least be gentle. What? Belle wants it? Belle wants to get taxidermied. Taxidermy fetish. Why do they call it taxidermy anyway? What does it have to do with taxis? Yo, Quicksilver, welcome to the stream. Welcome, welcome. Okay. Alright, alright. Next one. What would you do? Arson. So much arson. I'm burning everything. Written by Riley. Yeah, well, fair enough. That's just it, right? A lot of us talk about how in an apocalypse situation we'd all be just focusing on surviving and being cool and, like, nice and whatever, doing all the cool stuff, but, like, a lot of people in the apocalypse would just straight up lose their morals and go crazy, because, like, their mentality is that I'm gonna die anyway, everyone's gonna die, the world is ending, so why not just do whatever I want? And so they'll do immoral things, they'll just go around killing people, they'll go around, like, horribly committing atrocities, and that's the reality of it. That's what some people do when they know they're gonna die. You know, they lose all their morals. You know, when society collapses, they lose their morals, because for a lot of people aren't truly, like, virtuous. They act good, but they do it because that's what society wants them to do, not because they're actually good people. And, you know, a lot of people out there are only good because that's what's expected of them. That's what gets them acceptance. So the way you know if a person's truly good is, you know, you see what they do in an apocalypse situation, or just in a life-threatening situation, in like a chaotic situation. That's how you see a person's true nature. Because a lot of people would just lose it because they were only being a good person in the first place because they were just a conformist, you know? And in that sense, I actually think there's a value in conformity, which I didn't used to believe, but then I came to realize, you know, there is a value in conformity. It exists for people who are morally bankrupt. Because some people will only be good people. Not even good people. Some people will only behave good if they're faced with consequences for not being good. And so whenever those consequences go away, a lot of people just go crazy. Because they weren't really good all along. So, you should aim to be the kind of person who wouldn't just go crazy in a situation like that. You know. Well, I stayed long enough, your channel's obviously taking off, but the cringe is stabbing my brain already. Farewell. Alright, see you around. Cool, cool. Let me check my views. 12, that's pretty alright. To be fair, Riley already does arson, that's true. It's all about the touching that does it for me, plus I think if someone's going to kidnap me and display my skin, it's going to be toy. Yeah, I mean, never thought I'd meet someone who finds taxidermy appealing, but, you know, there's people from all walks of life in here. Seen in a Verdicium video that the best strategy would be a good person with good people and a bad person with bad people. I guess so, but it's better off to just stay away from bad people, because you might be influenced by them. Or try to engage with them in a smart way if you want to, like, make them better. But you need to be smart about it. The apocalypse setting could bring the worst from humanity, yep. Did you read mine yet? I have not. I'm grabbing water. It's not near me. 1 second. There are a lot of disadvantages. There are. You know, if you are attractive, then you're going to deal with the issue of, like, a lot of people who don't really like you for you. They like you because you look good. And they like you maybe because they want to fuck you, not because they like who you are. And you'll get a lot of people who chase you. You get a lot of people who will chase you. I mean that metaphorically, but sometimes literally. Because, you know, they like what you are, not who you are. And then you'll be more objectified, more like, you're just treated like you are what you look like, you know. They don't see value in who you are. And that's a very common thing. It's very common. So, there's a lot of advantages to being pretty, a lot of privileges that come with it. A lot of advantages you gain in life because people flock to you more and stuff. But a lot of those people won't actually like you. They like what you look like. And that's not the same thing, because you don't choose what you look like. You do to some degree, with like... You can affect that with things like makeup and whatever. But... And like clothing and things like that. But at the end of the day, you're being treated a certain way because of how you look. And that doesn't mean they like you, It's good. Pretty privilege is good insofar as it creates a good first impression for people. So if you're a cool person, people are more likely to see that because they'll give you that chance. They'll give you a chance to show them who you really are. Because they'll be interested by the beauty, and then they'll stay because you're a cool person, Because even people who aren't, like, super shallow and don't, like, just think that you're more worthy of hanging out with just because you're pretty, even if you don't think that way, a lot of the time you're going to subconsciously like people more if they're prettier. It's not always a conscious thing. You can be a relatively unprejudiced person, and you don't think that there's an inherent value in being prettier. But subconsciously, you'll still treat people differently because of that. And subconsciously, you'll still like people more if they're more attractive. And so, if you're attractive, then you play into that, you're part of that, and people will flock to you more, even if they're not, 100% shallow. So that's good, because then you make more friends, you make more cool people, you gain connections that could actually be meaningful. But then along with that, you also get a lot that aren't meaningful. So you get both. And sometimes, for some people, it's actually really bad because they get more of the shallow stuff than the good stuff. But for some people, it works well for them. They utilize it well. They know how to, like, keep the people out of their life that are shallow. Keep those people out and, like, know how to discern those people from the people they actually want to be with. Some people can do that, and that's really good. It's good to have that skill. That's how you make it as a pretty person. But if you don't have that skill, you're not going to tell who's just using you. And, it varies, because sometimes you might be good at that sometimes, but not in other situations. Or maybe you're good at that most of the time, but then some manipulative people out there are manipulative enough that you don't even notice it, and so they get to you. And then you end up getting hurt by that. Trust me, anyone can become attractive. You actually get to know them. I don't know. I'm way more into personality. There's a lot of people who do think that way, and that's good. Yeah. It is how the story goes. Yeah. I don't know. It's a wild world out there. well, life is like that. It is like that, but doesn't mean it should be like that. And you know, there's steps we can take to make it less like that. Even if it'll never 100% be good, we can take small steps to make the world a little bit better, and make people more mindful and more educated and less bad. Molasser's long. I hope we get there before the battery drains. I hope so too. Let's move to the next one. What would you do? Despite popular belief, I would simply make a long journey of wiping the earth clean, large crowds of infected with just fire or explosives. After all, many natural and man-made materials can be combustible. With that in mind, food is also not a problem if you have actual seeds to plant. Other than that, I'd probably isolate myself afterwards, or kill myself later. Who actually wants to live in an apocalypse? Name? I was advised not to mention my name, although you probably know. Honestly, I don't know. Peachy also said she wanted to freaking kill herself, but that's not, this isn't her. Next one. What'd you do? I'd create a time capsule that survived over 9,900 years into the future, so it'd be around when Project Yorha is created. Inside, I'd include a love letter to 2B, a wreath of lunar tear flowers, and my PS5. Then hopefully 2B would find it and she'd read the letter and know how much I love her. And of course, I'd also include my Fortnite account info in the letter so I can pass the torch on to her. Written by Spider. Yes! Because in the future, 2B will be created, and then the whole story of Nier happens. So you'd get to meet her. Or, oh no, you wouldn't. Yeah, no, you wouldn't meet her, but you would, like, pass the letter to her. You know, you'd be dead, but she would... You'd be dead, but she'd think you're dead sexy. And that's what really matters at the end of the day. Yeah. Yeah, base spider. True, true. What would you do? I've often thought about this question. To be honest, I probably wouldn't fare very well. For one, I can't run very fast, and also not for very long. And I really enjoy showers, bakeries, air conditioning, and all the other modern luxuries to which I've become accustomed. My plan would essentially be to find a person or group far more capable than I, and try to convince them that I'm worth keeping alive. My selling points are that I'm creative with resources. For example, I once made an umbrella out of straws, tape, and plastic grocery bags. Or when I turned a pillowcase into a shirt by cutting a few simple holes. I'm also resourceful at creating recipes from a few simple ingredients, never mind that they all came from a grocery store. Perhaps most useful is that I have O-type blood, meaning I can give my blood to anyone and their system won't reject it. Never mind that we probably would struggle to find medical equipment. All that aside, I'm additionally useful because my strong suit is being a team player and emotional relief. I can make jokes in even the most depressing of circumstances, and I pride myself at being good at emotional support. I'd be the one you could talk to, especially when other people are making things tense. I'd hold a group together and remind everyone of positives we still have, no matter how few. And I know massage therapy. I'm sure it would be most appreciated after a long day of foraging for sustenance and fleeing unspeakable horrors. I can also talk indefinitely about a variety of topics, and can tell stories or sing or create poetry on the spot. Realistically, I'd probably die really close to the beginning of a disaster, or not too long after. And I have a pretty determined expiration date since I'm full of pacemakers. If bacterial infection didn't take me out, I'd have as many years left on my pacemakers, or until my heart outgrows my synthetic valve, and obviously I would be unable to replace it myself. That would be the end of my story, but I'm sure it would get more interesting in the afterlife. I do my best to haunt my surviving friends and whisper encouragement to them in times of peril. I try to use my spectral powers to give them better luck, like moving small twigs to make their pursuers trip when chasing them, or rustling leaves nearby edible berries or valuable loot. When everyone I love is dead, we can all go together into the next life, where hopefully we won't have to be in such a survival mode. For real though, like this video please if you haven't, do it in memory of Apocalypse Toybox. Written by Toybox the Survivalist. Yes, I appreciate you telling people to like the video. You're always very diligent in your efforts to help my success. You're also responsible for a lot of my success. You like actively try to funnel people to my channel all the time, which is super cool. I definitely have you to thank for a good portion of my success. But yeah, so yeah, you admit that it wouldn't be very realistic for you, but you have like an ideal of what you would like to do, and that's cool. And it's interesting you mentioned that, you have, the whole blood type thing. So even in that situation, you're thinking of others. You're very much, a selfless kind of person. Apocalypses would put us to the test and show, like, who among us are the really good people. Yeah, you'd do well. You'd be a good member of a group in that you'd be good emotional support, and people would, be able to look to you as, like, a good friend. But, like, surviving is a whole nother story. And yeah, I guess people with, like, pacemakers and, like, other stuff, other people who are, like, really reliant on the medical system, I guess would have a really hard time in the apocalypse. They'd, it'd just be really bad because you're reliant on things that kind of just don't exist anymore. Because, maybe if you're lucky, you'll find, like, a group of survivors that are, like, doctors and shit, or, like, really know their stuff, really, like, know how to build things. Maybe you'd find, like, a small community that, like, has kept some of that stuff around. But, that wouldn't be everywhere, so you'd have to get pretty lucky. At the end of the day, we'd all realistically not do well. But, it's worth a try. It's worth a try. Toys and the reason I'm here, YouTube recommendations brought me here, lol. Yeah, of course. No, plenty of people come from YouTube recommendations. It's just that Toy, sometimes I look at it and I'm like, wait. Toys probably. Because I see, like, I see some of my people, or some of my fans show up in, like, other people's servers, and then I'm like, oh, like, Toy is sort of funneling them over to those other servers, but then she's also doing it the other way around. I realize that that's what she's doing, and so she's like, because I see that, and I'm like, okay, if she's sending them over there, she's sending them back as well. She's like sending all of her friends back and forth to all the creators she likes. Everyone she meets in the different communities. It's part of the benefit of collabs, even though I haven't done super many. Hoping to do one with Moxie in the near future, because he's less busy now. But yeah. Toy knows how to market herself? Yeah, you should know how to market yourself. Okay. Next one. I want to try and get through them not too slowly, because I want time to do a little bit of stuff before bed. And my bedtime's coming up, because I have to work. What would you do? What I would do, it pretty much depends on the situation and context. If it's a zombie apocalypse, I have an excuse to... If it's a zombie apocalypse, I'd have an excuse to quote-unquote kill. Like the guns and the badass fights. I'm assuming you mean killing the zombies, right? Because you put kill in quotes. I think I would do a lot of things I wouldn't normally do if it's not the end of the world. I would probably YOLO more everything. Maybe I'd rob an ice cream store since people are dying anyways. Also, if the world is ending, could I see your face exhibit? Written by Sarah. You know what? If the world is ending, I will do a face reveal, alright? I will promise that. If the world is ending, if the apocalypse happens, I will do a face reveal. So, yeah. And I will tell people my dick size, just as a bonus. Let's see. Yeah, Mr. Winius, you definitely live... You definitely live so long. For sure. Also, Exhibit, you and Moxie are the only ones I really go hard for. PG counts as your universe to me. I wouldn't want to claim all the, like, I wouldn't want to claim credit for, like, all her success or anything like that. She's done plenty on her own. But I don't think that's what you're saying anyway. You mean that we're both in the same, like, franchise almost. It's like if every VTuber was an anime, me and Peachy would, like, be in the same anime, you know? We're like You know, we're in the same franchise. We're part of the same universe. So that makes sense. So your fans are gonna go out of their way to cause an apocalypse because of this? Yeah, I think so. So we're gonna create a supervillain. Yeah. The dick size is still happening, exhibit. Yeah. Shouldn't have said that. You guys better not remember. It's gonna be a long time before we get the 10K, okay? It's gonna be a long time away. No way you guys are gonna remember that, okay? That's a long time away. Alright, you guys are gonna forget. You're gonna forget all this. You better forget. Except I'm pretty sure if I ever saw your IRL face, it'd be like looking at the face of God and I'd melt from your handsomeness. For sure. For sure. You know what the funny thing is? The stereotype when it comes to VTubers is that they must be like really ugly, because they're like, oh, why are they using an avatar? It's because they must be ugly so that they can make themselves look good to get simps, even though they look bad. But like every single face reveal I've seen of a VTuber, they all look really attractive. Every single one. Right? And even the leaks, where it's not even intended to be seen, if I ever come across stuff like that, like it always looks good, you know? And it's like I don't go seeking that stuff out, but sometimes I just stumble across it. And it's like, bro, maybe VTubers are just cool and attractive and hot, you know? Maybe VTubers are just awesome like that. You know? Ever considered that, haters? Yeah, I didn't think so. I swear the face reveal is gonna have you surrounded by a lot of girls. Are you gonna be ready for that? Oh, I'll be ready. I'll be ready. And then when the apocalypse happens, we can do the Exhibit A meetup orgy. Just kidding. Unless... Alright. Exhibit does a face reveal, and then it's just Peachy. She's been playing both of them. Yeah. Ah, you got me. You got me! It's me, Peachy. I'm so sorry for lying to all of you about who I actually was. I'm not a simp, but still I won't forget. Really now. Not a simp. Maybe just have low standards? No. I don't have low standards. I know that for a fact. Like a lot of them are just conventionally attractive somehow. But maybe it's just because like the ones that are attractive are the ones that show up and get attention. You know, and then the ones that aren't good don't get much attention, or they don't bother to try revealing it in the first place. Wait, so I didn't have e-sex with Peachy last night? It was you? Bro, I'm not gay, what the frick? I love how your gender just changes depending on what's funnier for the joke. What are you implying, hmm? You know what I'm implying. My longtime friend has never shown his face, being a VTuber. Last year he revealed his face to me, and only on call, and I felt special as I know he hates showing his face. Yeah, that's awesome. That's a nice moment. That's how you know someone trusts you online. Alright, anyway. Alright. So. Next one. Wait a sec. Also, I thought Salad was Exhibit 2. This is getting very confusing. It's all three. Wait, so I had e-sex with myself then? Yeah. Yeah. That's so true of me. Next one. What would you do? Wait, did I read the last one? Oh, I didn't. It's good that I went back. What would you do? Well, through my experience with Resident Evil, I've had my full training to survive an apocalypse, so I will survive my way through the entire apocalypse with my Resident Evil training that I had. And if I get hurt or infected, Resident Evil has that covered for me, as well with knowing how to find an antidote, written by Zana. So true, so true. It is true that video games teach you how to do things in real life, and video games are just like real life. Video games are realistic. And if something happens in a video game, it can happen in real life too. So, that's why gamers are so successful in life, as we all know. Gamers are well renowned for being really successful in the world, and getting many bitches, you know. That is what gamers are known for, after all. Yeah. The alt accounts are getting crazy. I'm actually... This is my final answer. Gotta go now. Definitely don't have 3 more answers. Bye-bye. It was 2 answers. Definitely not 5 this week. Ehehe. Damn, that's why we got 26 answers. I'm still not sure if I'll ever even more publicly voice reveal. A few people have heard little bits of my voice on accident. Are you kind of shy about it? It's gonna be fun to, It can be, What was I saying? It can be fun to talk on voice. You should try it more, because I like to do that. I like it more than texting, generally. I'm here to pleasure you. You built me for this couch. Exhibit 2. You're here to pleasure me, are you? Video games are super realistic. True, true. What would you do? I would try to go into a theme park because it has lots of good hiding spaces, and if I'm lucky, even a gun. In Germany, we don't have gun shops in every town, so that isn't a possibility to get a gun with. And lots of food. Then I try to look how it goes with the communication. I would try to reach the military and my friends to check if they're still alive. Written by Utopia. Yeah. I don't know, contacting the freaking military. I think if an apocalypse is happening, the military's probably overrun, not having a good time. I mean, they'd already know if an apocalypse is happening. They'd know. So, I don't know about that. What would you do? Give up and become king of the zombies. Written by Zombie King Pop-Tart Snake. Yeah, fair. King of the zombies.
I am king of the zombies.
How do you like that noise, Sarah? I know you like the weird noises. How's that one rank? I'm not sure if I want my voice out there, and also I don't really like it. Talking on VC would be fun, though. Still not fully sure. You should be more confident. A lot of people are self-conscious about their voice, but most of the time, people don't really judge you for your voice, you know? You know, like, it's not... I used to be nervous about using my voice online. And look where I am now. So... yeah, just go for it. You should go for it. You totally should. You shouldn't hold back. You should... if you think it's something you would enjoy, then you should do it. Don't let anything stop you. Don't be afraid. I think you'd have a lot of fun with it, and I think it would be a shame if you went your whole life without doing that, because then you'd be missing out on good experiences. So I think you should do it. Most people don't like their own voice. That's it. Most people feel that way. Most people, when they hear their voice on a recording, don't like it. Literally, that's universal. So, people aren't gonna think badly of you for how you sound. It's not common. I'm low-key self-conscious about my everything, but fuck it, we ball. Yeah. We ball. See? Sometimes you can be insecure, but we can move on anyway and do stuff. Most people except me. I love the sound of my own voice. No, I don't. Oh, I thought you were being serious for a second. Yeah, I hate my voice. Exactly. It's universal. Okay, next one. What would you do? Take over a mall with my friends and try to find a way to make a good base out of it, written by Pop-Tart Snake. You'd think that, but I think a lot of people are gonna have that same idea, so that might not work well. Like, I saw a video on how to survive the zombie apocalypse when I was younger, and one thing it said is, like, don't use malls, because literally everybody's gonna think of that, you know? So it maybe wouldn't work so well. And then you'd fight over it. What would you do? I'd die. Written by Weenus. Real. Fair enough. What would you do? I would survive with Zana being my amazing and wonderful mistress. Written by Exhibit A? I did not write this. Zana. What are you trying to do? What are you trying to do? What are you trying to do, Zana? It's very clear what you want here. It's very clear what you're looking for. Exhibit, can I get more sexy noises? You call that sexy, bro? How do you like that? Bro, Sarah's about to fucking come now, what the hell? See you, Tess. Bye-bye, Tess. Bye-bye. Thanks for stopping by. Maybe that's okay for now. But someday you'll be out of food and guns. And you'll have to make the call. Yeah. I think other people sound prettier or handsome to me, but then again, I'm a very quiet person who doesn't talk that often. I haven't heard your voice yet, Belle. I haven't been in a VC with you before, I don't think. Would be happy to find out, though. I should VC more often. In general, just to talk to all of you. OMFG, that was so hot. Fuck, that was so good. Happy Pride Month. Yeah, you like the fucking sounds. So can we get more alien gawk ASMR, please? That is what it sounds like, isn't it?
I am a horny alien. Pull down your pants right now.
Exhibit, do I sound like a boy? No. I can if I heard your voice without knowing who you was, I would assume you're a girl. Alien gawk, yeah. Alright. What would you do? I would survive with Sana being my amazing and wonderful mistress, the best one out there. Written by everyone on Exhibit's server. Oh, wait! Sana, you don't just want to be my mistress, you want to be everyone's mistress. Yo, you want to be the dom of all time. Yo. Who here wants Sana to be their mistress? Any takers? So don't forget the pig noises. What am I doing? Bro. It's amazing that I have an audience when I act like this, but the fact that I act like this is why I have the audience. This is what you guys want. Alright. Next one. What would you do? Kiss my cousin with tongue. Name? Not Prague, not even close. Prague. What are you doing? What are you doing with your cousin? Good on you. Alright, anyways. Gosh, I'm gonna kiss you now? Okay. Okay. What are you waiting for? Son, I want to be my good girl. Yeah, every... Alright, next one. What would you do? Depending on how the apocalypse goes down, I'll either be in the woods with my Girl Scout skills to help me find natural shelter, supplies, and water. Or, I'll begin navigating towards my emergency bunker filled with all my emergency supplies. Yes, my parents did build one for that one exact scenario. If there's one thing I'm grateful for, is that they taught me how to survive in any environment, whether I'm in a desert or the Arctic, for whatever reason. I know what needs to be done, how to find shelter, food, and drinking water. Written by Belle. So wait, really? Your family, has a freaking bunker? You say for that one exact scenario, do you mean like a zombie apocalypse? Do they, like, believe that that can actually happen? Or do you mean like a nuclear apocalypse? It's interesting. But yeah, Girl Scout skills would help, for sure. And then having an emergency bunker would also really help, because you'll be way ahead of everyone else in terms of survivability. Because most people don't have that prepared. Very few people are preparing for stuff like that. So, yeah, that'll work well for you. Rightio. Yeah, with tongue is the best way to do it. I mean, listen, if you're gonna kiss your cousin, you might as well do it with tongue. Might as well. Like, if you're gonna do it, at least do it right. At least do it right. What would you do? Unless I had friends that I could help in the apocalypse, it's logically better in my mind to die early. I don't want to die horrifically. And I know I'm unlucky. Though if I had friends nearby to help / live with, I'd stick around. I ain't letting any of my friends down. Written by Unknown. Yeah. Yeah, see, similar sentiment to Peachy, because that's what Peachy... I mean, she kind of... I mean, she just said she wanted to kill herself in general, if that were to happen, right? But, you know... But yeah, no, I guess you're saying similar things, aren't you? Yeah. Okay, wait, I'll hop on a plate and just to kiss you. Are you saying that to me, or the one of the others? Is it more like an apocalypse where society falls, whether it's the purge or a war? But I can navigate to it if need be, if I have no modern tools like a compass. Right, cool. That's good. This is the last one. What would you do? I would fulfill everyone's request with being their mistress, especially Exhibit's request for me to be his mistress, since he oddly requested himself before everyone else jumped into the answer, as well for me to be their mistress. My DMs are a message away, everyone. Unknown, Salad, everyone. I can be your mistress in the apocalypse. I would happily help you survive that way. Written by Zana. Bro! I think Zana's horny. Okay. Well, you heard it here, folks. DMs are open. Alrighty. So that was the last one, and I think I'm going to end stream now because I want to rest a bit before actually going to sleep and just do things and stuff, yeah. But this has been a very fun stream, guys. Thanks for being here. It's been super awesome. I love all of you. You're all awesome. Thanks for being here. I'm glad that I have you here with me on this journey. If you have any last words, say them now, because we're going to be ending. Because when I was dared to kiss my cousin as a child, he used his damn tongue. What? He was a child too, right? Right? Better have been. Otherwise, we have a word for that. But yeah, that's very intrusive to spring that on someone. That's not good at all. No? He's 5 years old. What age were you? No! Your cousin ain't like us, Sarah. Your cousin ain't like us. Bro, that's so bad. That is fucked up. He actually liked me. What age were you? What age were you? No. There's no age you could be where you're a child and 5 years older would be acceptable. So I don't know what the point is in asking. It's bad no matter what. He wanted to date me, bro. Bro. What age were you? What? No. Listen, man. Listen. I may be an incest fiend, but I have standards, okay? I have standards. Are you sure you can be saying that, that exhibit, Mr. Incest? Yes! Bro, just because you like incest doesn't mean you have to like fucking pedophilia, man. There's two different things. Alright, I have standards. Alright, I have standards. I have standards. She's mentioned this before? Has she? Oh, I might have forgotten. My bad. Or maybe I just missed the message. I'm telling you, bad luck attracting every kind of men. Yeah. Needs to be two consenting related adults. Yeah, bro. It needs to be consensual incest, okay? Okay? What am I talking about? Alright. Oh. That's fucked up. I'm sorry that happened to you, Sarah. That's bad. That's really bad. Ugh. Yeah. Okay, well. Alright, guys. Alright, guys. This is the end. This is how the story ends. Our grandparents were cousins. Okay. Well. Alright. Thank you all so much for being here. It's been very cool and fun. But it's time to go, and I will see you guys another time. So, goodbye. And without further ado, I will see you in the next stream. Bye-bye.